Daddy Coaching created. I'm looking you up, but because I tagged you in the post. Okay, there we go. All right, send invite. My cat's trying to come. All right, she's coming on, y'all. And definitely dropping your questions. Hey, Will, thanks for coming. Thanks for showing up. Dropping your questions as well. I'm more than happy to, ask Deanna to answer them and then to expand on them. I got my coffee today with my little vanilla extract.
Okay.
Hi, beautiful.
Girl, I had to join on my phone. It wasn't letting me on my laptop. So sorry about
It's
that.
okay. Wait, hold on. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you good. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm
cool. Let me
excited.
make
You
sure
look
my volume is
wonderful
up.
today.
Oh, thank you.
Very Christmassy. So we got like the burgundy
Oh,
red
look
and the green.
at that. See, and my husband dressed me this morning. He said, no wear the
Wow.
green today. I said, okay.
I love it. I love it. We got a couple of viewers already. So I already started with, who I am. I want to introduce you. So we've been wanting to get on this camera for such a long time, but this is the now moment that it was meant.
Yeah.
So Deanna Washington, for all that is watching, is a love guide to all, but more specifically, a kept wife strategist. Okay, y'all, we're going to talk about what that means in a few. So she's called to help professional women to be kept wives. She unapologetically encourages women to require provision, no matter how much money that they earn. That's interesting too. So we'll talk about some of that. She teaches strategy, which I love. As a woman that teaches strategy, I mean, come on, you can't get any better than that. But the strategy is around self-improvement, love attraction, mastery, femininity, and masculine awareness. Like, what? Oh my gosh. As the very foundation as well, to attracting and keeping a quality keep her man in holy matrimony. Okay, so her
Yeah.
identity words is like super strong. I love it. She's also created the popular love attraction guide journal, Manifesting Love Fit for a Queen. And that serves as a starting point for anyone on their love journey. She hosts luxury intimate group spa VIP days, excuse me, and also has a premium coaching community. We're going to talk about your premium coaching as well, and like what steps you take your ladies through.
Yeah.
And then, this is also where women commit to the process of preparing to become kept wives. So it's a 6 month process. And then last but not least, her style's witty, matter of fact, very much so love that because I'm from New York City.
Yes.
No nonsense. She's always, however, coming from a place of love, not judgment or condemnation. She is divorced and remarried to her keep her husband, Will. And they're raising their two kiddos, Shelby and Sire, together in Dallas, Texas. Wow, what a mouthful, but I needed to because you are amazing. You're the only woman I watch on social media in terms
Oh,
of
that's such a
relationship advice.
compliment. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
yes. So, I mean, why don't you just say hey to, whatever you'd like us to know before we get into it, if there isn't
First of
anything.
all, I just want to start by giving Ashley her flowers because I'm kind of limited in my social media time as well.
Yeah.
So I'm very selective in whose lives and things like that I will watch. And if I see you on, I'll definitely tune in because you're dynamic, you're fun. Like our styles are pretty similar in a lot of ways of like
Yes.
we gonna get to it. We gonna say it. But
Yes.
it's with love, right? And
Yes.
it's fun and it's entertaining. So I love watching the evolution of you as well, and the fact that you are so transparent about your journey and allowing people to see those parts, like some of the parts that maybe aren't as flowery, maybe they're not as, you know,
There are
sharing
thorns
those
on the
too.
rose.
Yes, showing those too. I think that's really beautiful
Thank
because it
you.
encourages women to allow themselves to be more free in their journey. Like
Yeah.
we don't all wake up like this. Okay, I woke up 2
Period.
hours before so that I could work out, do everything I
Right.
needed to do, take a shower, put my makeup on. It takes
It
effort,
does.
okay?
It does.
So I think it's great when other women share the journey so women aren't going along thinking that they're so far behind because they're
Mm,
not.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. We already
Welcome.
got some people. Hi, Pamela. So,
Hello.
I guess the format. Well, first, before we even go into that, why don't
Mhm.
you tell us what is a kept wife strategist?
Oh, so just to give you a little bit of background,
Hmm.
I have been a coach, like paid for my work, because I feel like I've been a coach
Yeah.
forever, but actually paid for my work for about a
Oh
decade.
wow.
And I started in the beginning working with couples. But because I wasn't in a marriage that I was proud of, that was thriving, I said, hold up. I made a promise to myself and to God that I would always be in integrity with
Mm,
leading people. So since there was some things, even though my clients were thriving, they
right.
were fine.
Right.
They were great. They
I
were doing
understand
all
that.
of the things.
Right. Right.
I still felt like I needed to be in integrity. So I kind of stepped back from that and just started working with individuals. So I had male and female clients.
Awesome.
And
Wow.
I just felt a pull to women
Yeah.
because I was on my own journey to self improvement. So as time went on, and I got divorced and remarried and went through this whole metamorphosis
Yes.
of like the woman I am today and the woman I'm still becoming. I realized that there weren't a whole lot of women
Mm,
in the
right.
space
Right.
talking about being a kept wife.
Mm,
And at first, I just was like, why are they gatekeeping? Like,
right.
we more women need this information until I started sharing the information. And then I'm like, oh, now
Mm,
I know why. There's even more judgment when you talk about this.
mm.
There's resistance from the very women you're trying to help.
Yes.
So, but
You know.
actually one of my close friends and mentors, Natalie Bullen, she said, Deanna, you have to stop saying you're just a relationship coach. That's like so limiting. You're actually like, I don't know, like a kept wife strategist. Like, and I was
Ooh.
like, oh, that felt good. That felt good to my
Yes.
soul.
Yes.
That felt like what I am.
Yes.
That felt like what I do.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
okay. And I
Right.
went with that. And it's so funny. The minute I started going with that, I started getting even more like love and like,
Mm.
wow, what's that? Oh, I want to be kept. I don't even know what it is, but it
Yes.
sounds great.
Yes.
Like,
Yes. Yes.
so that's
Wow.
kind of how I got the name, like the kept wife strategist. But for those who want to know like what it means to be
Mm.
kept, I try to go on every platform and say this because I think that has a negative connotation as
Yeah.
well. Um, my ladies, at least, and this is my definition, and this is where I am
Right.
working, leading, and guiding from, is you are first kept by God. So this doesn't involve a man at first.
Right.
It literally is about you governing yourself. And when I say kept by God, that is your relationship with your creator
Right.
and getting in tune with your divine
Wow.
connection. You being
Right.
kept first, right? You
Wow.
developing your own standards, your own governance, your
Right.
own limitations, whatever, how you are going to govern yourself.
Right.
You are kept first.
Mm.
That's first. And then you become kept by your keeper husband.
Ooh, that's so amazing and
Yeah.
exciting. Wow. So
Yeah.
I'm going through my own process of the being kept by God because I think I was a
Hmm.
dependent for so long.
Yep.
Like I didn't feel like I necessarily had support. I didn't feel like I was kept. I didn't feel like I was covered, right? I think that's like
Yes.
the overarching, right?
Yes.
And so
Yes.
the
Absolutely.
divine through my life and how things are happening, it's out of my
Yeah.
power. Like it's totally a bigger thing going on.
Hmm.
So you're absolutely right. It's a transition and it starts from there. Wow. This is incredible.
Absolutely.
Hey, Victor. We got
And
Victor on.
yes, good
We got
morning.
Yosef. Oh,
Good
he said some.
morning. And I
Yes.
see they're giving us some
I
love too. Thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate you.
Yes. So To be a kept wife, in essence, is to be covered, correct?
Yes.
And to be okay, okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
this is important too,
Yes.
because I know when a lot of the gentlemen here kept, they immediately just go to um finances, because there's a lot of conversation in our community
Mm-hmm.
about 50-50 and who pays what and all of that. I want to be very clear.
Mm-hmm.
While finances is a part of the covering, right? It is not it, right? A man can have lots of money and still be not worth it. I'm trying to choose my words
Yes.
very nicely, right?
Yes.
He can still not be a great
Yeah.
man. So when I'm talking about like keeper men, keeper husbands, right? These men have a divine calling to be a covering. They can take a
Mm.
woman like myself who is opinionated, who does run a successful business, who
Yes.
was independent. I'm not anymore. I'm self-sufficient,
Okay.
who was independent before and proud of that. They have the masculinity and they are confident in their masculinity. It doesn't mean they're loud, doesn't mean they're
Mm.
that, right? They are confident in who they
Right.
are, and they see it as a divine calling to cover their wife. So they're not only providing financially, they are providing spiritually, they are
Mm.
providing
Right.
emotionally, they are providing physically, they are providing mentally. So when a woman is kept, she has provision in all of those areas.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing. I love that. Thank you for that as well, just the specificity, because when people tune in, I want them to hear that,
Hmm.
receive that, and let it just enter in their spirit. Thank
Yeah,
you.
hopefully
So,
they can hear the rest of the conversation
yes.
and not be stuck on that piece.
Yes, indeed, indeed. You know, I hopefully my audience ain't crazy. They got some common sense in yours as well. So I wanted to bring you into this space too, because the biggest thing I see in social media nowadays is a lot of people talking about relationships,
Hmm.
advice, giving
Yeah.
guidance, and they're single, or they're in a relationship but they're not married, right? So I'm
Hmm.
not saying everybody's called to marriage, yes, right?
Right.
I am saying, however, it is something that everybody, most people desire to have when they're talking about relationships. They're not talking about casual sex and situationships. They're talking about
Yeah.
long-term relationships.
Yeah.
So my question, why do you believe we've gotten so far away from married people talking about marriage and long-term relationships?
Oh, there's so many dynamics at play here. I
Yeah.
mean, this is another reason why I chose to identify myself as the kept wife strategist. So it's
Mm,
clear that I'm only talking to women who want to be kept wives, right?
period.
My
Mm-hmm.
and I that's why I say, well, I can be a love guide
Mm,
to all, because I can talk to you about love.
right.
You know, love is godly.
Right.
We can talk about that
Right.
conversation in general. But when I am giving advice, when I'm giving guidance, I'm talking to women who want to be wives. Oh, my
Mm.
honey made it. Good morning, baby. Oh, thank you so much, honey. He had an important meeting today.
Yes,
He didn't think
yes.
he was going to be here. Thank you so much, honey.
I love that. See, look, he's just showing up.
Mm,
You
thank you,
all
honey.
blushing. I love this.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So, I think we've gotten away from it though, because it's been popularized and it's been monetized, right?
That part.
And I've been praying about whether or not I was going to say this, and then you direct me to it, so I have to say it. Women want a quick fix, and because they want a quick fix, they go for the shiny coach. They go for the coach that has the best marketing, right? They go for the coach that has the most followers. And I mean, humble brag, 70% of my clients have had the more popular coaches and come to
Right.
me
Okay.
because they didn't get what they needed there.
Right.
So it's like, this is not to, I never want to take money out of anyone else's pocket. I never want to down another woman or even another man. I'm not here to talk negatively about anyone. But I will say that love is such people can be in such a desperate place for love, for marriage, that they want the in 90 days you'll
Yeah.
get proposed to. You know,
Yes.
you can get fixed in, 120 days. Come to my one thing and you'll
Right.
have all the
Everything else will
answers.
change. Yeah.
And I don't do that, and
Hmm.
I don't promote it. I don't support it because I think it's inauthentic and it does a disservice. Like you're talking about, other than like making a decision to follow Christ
Yeah.
or whatever you do for your spirituality, you're the person you marry. That's the most important decision of
Individual.
your life,
Yes,
even
indeed.
beyond having children. I'm
I
gonna
was gonna
say
say
that
that because you could go to a sperm bank and pop in one. You know what I mean?
you can have it on your own, or you can have a child and not marry them. But
Yes.
when you marry, that person takes on you and your
Yes.
children, and you make all decisions with them. Guess what? You're going to grow old. Your kids are going to go have their own family.
Yes.
So I just, it's the fact that people want such
Okay.
quick results
That's what it
into
is.
something.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
want quick results in this
Yeah.
area, so they're going for, the quick promise, the popular thing that,
Yeah.
oh, a million people are here, so this might be the right thing. When, for me, I call them commoners. I tell people those are commoners. Those are people
I
that
love
want the
it.
common thing, and they're thinking common, they're doing common, and they're getting common results.
Yep.
I want people who are opposite of that.
Yeah.
Give me the 10% that's going to see that and be like, nah, I
Yeah.
don't need what the masses have. The
Yeah.
masses don't have successful marriages.
Yeah. Let me say this too. First of all, that's amazing, and I really understand that because quick fix is really attached to sexual undiscipline,
Cool
right?
girl. Oh, yes, listen. Oh, I've
Yes.
been front and center for those conversations. Like,
Yes.
somebody got to say it.
Yes. So, for me, I was one of those counterfeit coaches. So, full transparency, the
I
person
love that you
in the
own
cat,
this.
right?
Yeah.
In that place, sitting here on this couch, I was that because it was the way that I could avoid actually doing the work. And I was good at selling and marketing. So, hey, look at this, right? But I
Ah,
was like, I'm all busy helping people get this outcome, and I'm fucking miserable dating.
and
Like, you
I'm
can't make it
miserable.
up. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So, oh
But
man. And then I think,
that's why we
yeah.
relate too, because even in
Hmm.
that, your
Hmm.
integrity did not allow you to keep going. Your authenticity is what said, I know I could do this. I'm making some money. People are buying it, but I don't want to sell it.
I
Right? I
don't.
don't
Yeah.
want to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so right. And the integrity piece is like, where's your credibility for real? Like when you get on a call, you got to do
Yeah.
so much fluff and this.
Yeah.
And how you start a thing is how you have to
That's
maintain a thing. So I was like,
right.
you know what?
That's
I'm
right.
tired.
Right. That's
You
so
know?
important. And I tell my ladies all the time, the reason okay, I'm going to be real transparent here. I would say probably once or twice a day, I get someone saying to me, well, if you're so kept, why do you still work? Because I choose to.
Right.
Because being kept means I have the choice. And guess
Wow.
what? Just because I have a lot of money doesn't mean I don't still want more. I want all the monies.
Right.
So if I have this gift and I have this calling,
Right.
and I can do this while my children are napping, while my children are at school. You don't listen, I don't ever put my family second to do this.
Right.
My husband is traveling.
Yes.
If he was home, I'd have been like, Ashley, we got to do this another day. My man
Right.
home. Okay?
I
When my
love
kids
it.
my kids are still asleep right now. If they
Right.
wake up, you're going to see them come hug me, and I'm not going to be mad that they did that.
Right.
I'm their mom
Right. Right.
first. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
everything I do, it is on my time.
Yes.
It is when I can
Right.
do it and when
Right.
I feel like serving. And when I
Right.
do, it's beautiful. It doesn't feel like work at all.
It doesn't. And that's
Yeah.
another thing too. It's like, am
Thank
I
you,
supposed
Victor.
to be this?
Using a
Yes.
gift isn't
Isn't
work,
work,
it's
it's purpose.
purpose.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. My daughter's crying. What
It's
happened?
okay.
What happened, Mama?
Oh,
Come, mama, let me kiss it. See,
oh
let me
yeah,
see.
we got to give the babies their love.
Keep doing it right. Come here. Give me a hug. Okay. All right. It's okay. See the mama.
Yep.
All right. Mwah. Now, why don't you go ahead and put some ice on it? Wrap it up in a washcloth so it's not too cold, okay? And relax. Why don't you watch something on the phone as well?
I I
So,
I love the nurturing of the feminine, right? Because you got a
yeah.
little girl,
Yes.
and our propensity sometimes is to be like, "What are you crying for? Did it?"
That's
No, we
true.
keep her
Yes.
soft. Come here, mama.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give me a little
Yeah.
hug. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because it goes way further. In terms of nurturing Karina to my daughter, that was
Yeah.
the transition process because
Yeah.
I was a very angry woman
Oh,
when I was
listen.
first, you know what I mean? A new mom. And
Yeah.
I was upset at everybody, the world. I was against the world, against my ex husband, her father, all
Yeah.
this stuff. And she was like the punching bag emotionally. You know, what
Mm-hmm.
you need? Why are you hungry
Right.
again? Like all of that.
I'm mad that you're around needing my nurturing and love. I get it.
Literally,
I
you
get
know?
it. I
Oh
get it. My
man.
my daughter Shelby is, oh, when I say she's the best parts of me, but she also makes me do my most inner work. Okay? My most inner
The
work.
most.
When I think I'm healed, she needs
So
something from
true.
me that I got to dig deep
Yes.
to get.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm thankful for it. But I relate to that.
For
I relate
sure.
to being angry. I relate to taking it out on my
Yeah.
kids. I relate to resenting them in a
Mm.
way. Like, you're here and I can't just crawl up in a
Right.
ball and be sad and
Right.
whatever else I want to do.
Right.
I got to keep it moving for you. And that makes me resent you a little
Yeah.
bit. But we've
Sometimes.
gotten over that.
Yeah.
And now we're
Has
working. We're working from a place of
yes.
healing and evolving.
Yes. Well, that's the blessing in it as well. Like, you
Yeah.
know, the femininity, the feminine energy, a lot of women are single moms and they don't even know that they have a toolkit right in front of them to help them dig deep and
Oh,
actually tap in. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? They don't even, sometimes you don't even need a coach yet. Just
You
how do you
don't. You
relate
need
to
to
your
just look at your
you know what
life.
I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yep. Just look at
yes.
your life. I mean, I didn't, for the first 2 years of my journey, I didn't have a coach. My coach was a book I was reading on
Yeah.
femininity, the Bible, going to church, and going for walks. Going for
Exactly.
walks. Like,
Yeah.
literally, that's what I was doing. And on my walks, I was just thinking about, okay, how did I get
Yeah.
here? I don't like here. That's all I know.
Yeah.
I don't like here.
Yeah.
So how did I get here so I can never be here
Mm.
again? Like, that was my thought.
Right.
How did I get here? What led me to these thoughts? What led me to pick this person?
Yeah.
What led me to allow this for to go on for as long as it did?
Yeah.
And it was like, in having those conversations with myself, they were the most healing. Like, that's how I came up with my journal. I literally,
Mm.
God told me to document my healing process. And I didn't know why. I'm like, it's
Right.
hard enough doing this. Okay, now you want me to document it and have
Right.
proof
You
that I was
asking for
this
a
messed
lot.
up? Like, fine, okay.
Yeah.
But that's how I created the journal. It's literally the questions that I had to ask myself and the things I had to confront in order to
Mm.
even be ready for someone to come into my life and give me direction and guidance and coaching.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah.
I have a whole bunch of questions, but I like to organically
Yes.
flow. So, you know, when things come up, like my brain goes, okay, that's more important to talk about. So, one of the biggest things I feel in the Black community we struggle with is being able to listen to a woman,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because we have a lot of mother wounds. And
Yeah.
we feel like, you know, any advice or guide from a woman is in essence telling us we're not good enough. And then we totally shut
Ooh.
them down. If they don't look a certain way too beauty wise, they don't sound like they try to tone police. It's
Mhm.
always so many things that Black women try to pick at before they actually can sit down and listen to a woman.
Yeah.
How do you relate to the women that do listen to you, like to where they don't feel like, you know, you're coming off as Miss Perfect, but also where you still maintain your authority and that you know what you're talking about?
Yeah. Um, I think I'm somewhat of an anomaly
Okay.
because I have shared a lot of what was wrong with me.
Okay.
I have shared a lot of mistakes. And I think because I did that and they see how I live now,
Yeah.
that's my built-in authority,
Got
right?
it. Got
So
it. Got
I
it.
don't spend a lot of time being like, you should listen to me cause
Mm.
I just show up in my new life. And
Got
it's
it.
like, well, I lived like that
Right.
too. I don't know more. Want to know
Right.
why? You know? And
Literally.
it kind of speaks for itself. And
Yes.
I think I attract a certain type of woman.
Okay.
I attract a woman that probably was kind of hard, very independent. She was the one telling everybody what to do.
Yeah.
She usually was the one who had the answers. I attract that kind
Mm.
of woman, so they relate when I'm like, girl, just listen. You paid me your
Right.
money. Do what I said. They're like, okay.
Right.
So I think I just
Yeah.
attract versions of myself.
Yes, of course. For
So it
sure.
makes it easy.
Yeah. And it
Yeah.
also, it sounds like your humanity. You tap into that and you remain
Hmm.
human first before your wife, before your mom, before you're even a woman. You're human.
Yes.
So that part right
Yes.
there, and you're not afraid to apologize or to be wrong or
No.
look bad, you know. And I think a
No.
lot of Black women, they gotta look so, you know,
Yeah.
perfect.
You know, I think oh, Black women, we have so many things at play,
Yeah.
right? And it's like you don't want to just be dismissive to the plight, but at some point you're like, yeah, we have all of these things, ladies. I get it.
Yeah.
But ain't nobody saving nothing.
Nobody.
Right? You are going to have to, and I don't mean like pull up by your bootstraps. I mean you gotta hug yourself. You
Yeah.
know,
Nobody else is
you
gonna
gotta
do it for you.
forgive yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta lovingly, embrace your
Right.
flaws and stop looking for other people to say it's okay. You gotta stop
Mm.
looking for the outside validation. You gotta stop waiting for the applause.
Yeah.
You gotta build that into yourself. Like
Right.
take all of the energy that you use to be independent, which is such a false sense of
Yes.
security, right? It's so false. Take all of the energy that you use to be independent and build it more inwardly so you can be
Interdependent.
self-accepting.
Yeah.
Self-accepting. Like
Yeah.
I accept myself. I accept that I'm beautiful. I accept that I don't need makeup, but I like it, so I don't care.
Mhm.
There's
Yes.
people who judge that. Well, why she gotta wear makeup? Because I like it. And
Right.
I can wear the expensive kind because my husband buys it. You
Period.
know,
Put it-
like I do what I
right.
can.
Right.
And I coach women that you don't gotta do what I'm doing.
Right.
Like I love this.
Right.
You can come along with me and discover what you love and be
Mm.
empowered. You could love the never wearing makeup.
Makeup.
And guess what? We
Exactly.
can be in the same community and I
Yes.
could be like, dang girl, you look good. You don't even
Right.
hate it.
Right.
Right? We don't
Right.
have to be the
We don't.
same.
That part.
Yeah.
That part. I love that. Wow. So this brings me into, so we had a guy, a married man actually, that wanted to know a few things. Um
Few. Yes, a few
a
things.
few things. My cat might come into the camera. Anyway,
Oh, I'm
his
glad. I
first
hope my husband's still on because he was like, oh, he
yes,
want to know
yes,
all
I
your
wanted to get into
business.
So one of his questions, so I have about four. There's a whole bunch, but we're just gonna ask four.
Okay.
One of his questions was, does attractive woman, since we were talking about women and makeup and not makeup, does attractive woman have the same options as unattractive women? And how does physical appearance influence her opportunities and expectations?
I'm going to be honest. Do attractive women have more options? Yes, but I don't think it's just because they're attractive.
Mm.
I actually think it's the confidence of a woman that attracts more of the opportunities. Right? I'm the
Mm.
same woman. I've had opportunities my whole life. When I was almost 300 pounds, I still didn't have a hard time attracting men because I showed up like you'd have thought I was 150.
Right, right,
Okay.
right.
So it
Mm.
really is about the confidence of a woman.
Got it.
Um,
Wow.
but when you put yourself together,
Right.
of course,
Yeah.
you have more opportunities because you look like you care.
Right.
You look like you put forth effort.
Right.
You look like someone that other people can invest in because you already invest in
So,
yourself.
oh wow.
So,
That's good.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yes, they have more opportunities, but it's not just because they're attractive. It's because
Okay.
they're more confident,
Okay.
they're more put together.
Now, the aspect of expectations, does it influence her expectations as well? What do you say to that part?
Um, Put it like this. When I come on live,
Mm-hmm.
I am aware that not everyone knows me.
Mm.
I'm aware that probably the majority of people that will be on they haven't had any interactions with me. They haven't seen me
Right.
before. Would I want them to see me for the first time looking like whatever?
Mm.
No.
Right.
But the women in my community, have they seen me without makeup, just coming from a
Right.
workout, running around with my
Right.
kids, hair needing to be retwisted? Yes,
Yeah.
because I'm in close proximity with
Right.
them and we are journeying together. So I've
Right.
seen them in every which way.
Got it.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think people get a certain level of access to you. And if you're on the outside, I'm going
Yeah.
to give you my outer
Got it.
appearance.
Got it. Got
Yeah.
it. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, the next one he said was, we'll ask, should a woman date if she is financially unstable and reliant on others, say like government assistance or family, for an example, or should she be completely financially independent before she dates?
I think she should be financially savvy before she dates
Tell me
because
why.
the way that I believe and coach women is that a man should come along to provide, right?
Mm,
He should not be looking for your financial help. So
mm,
really your financial standing should be of little consequence to him, but
right.
your financial know-how
Got it.
should be. And I'll share my personal
Yeah.
experience
Yeah.
with that. When I met my keeper husband, I was not well off.
Right.
I had a good position in my job. I was making about 70K a year in
Mm-hmm.
that position, but I had two kids. I was relocating with nothing. I was completely
Mm,
rebuilding myself, right? But what I did have was a very disciplined plan for my money. I was very diligent with it. I spoke abundantly, and I was not frivolous. And that is what he
wow.
looked at. He did not look at how much money I had in the bank, what position I had at my job. He was listening for my mindset. How did I talk about money?
Mm,
What decisions did I make with the money?
wow.
What was my plan for the future? What was I working
Yeah.
towards? So I say that a woman should, for her own self, be working on that, independent of a man.
Mm,
Because when a man comes, you also want to be a helper
yeah.
to him. And how can you multiply or help manage the money that he brings in if you've done nothing
Mm,
to learn about the energy of money, abundance, deal with your
wow.
poverty mindset,
Yeah.
all of that? So
Oh,
that's
I'm so
what I would
excited you
say.
said that. I'm like, yes, there's a future for me.
Oh, yes. And oh, yes.
Ah, I'm
Listen,
excited.
I think women should really focus more on your mindset about money. Are
Yeah.
you still in a lack mindset? Are you still in a poverty mindset?
Yeah.
That is going to matter way more, because if you're like that, it don't matter how much money he makes. He's going to have to keep making more and more and more
Yeah.
because you don't know how to help manage. You don't know how
Mm,
to help multiply.
hmm.
And that's what a wife should be doing.
Got it. Got it. Got
Eugene,
it. Hey,
you missed
Eugene.
it. You missed it. We
Yeah, you
talked at
missed it.
length.
You got to
We talked
rewind.
at length about it, but the 5 second version is he is a husband that sees being a husband as a divine
Yeah.
calling. So he is a provider in all ways,
Yes.
financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually,
Yes.
mentally. So it's my play on words like, oh, he's a keeper because he keeps
Ooh.
his
Okay.
wife.
Ooh.
Yeah, keeps her.
Yes. I love it. Oh, it's giving me life. It's giving me life. I need
Yes.
to watch more of your videos. Okay, that's gonna be my to do. If you don't
Listen,
know where to find her, we gonna tell them where to find you at the end of this, because I want people to find your socials
look
and
at that.
stuff.
That mindset is a liability. Yes, either
Yeah.
you're disciplined or you're undisciplined. Listen, my husband, I'm a full partner with him, right? So
Mm,
he's the provider, but that doesn't mean I'm sitting around waiting on the scraps, right? I am a full
right.
partner. I have access to everything. We make decisions together.
Together.
He would not, as a financially well off
Yes.
man, choose a woman that he could not give access to everything to because he's afraid of what she would
Mm,
do with it.
right.
He knew
Right.
full and well I could see hundreds of thousands of
Yeah.
dollars and not be like, oh, Chanel's
Right.
calling. No, he knew I could see whatever was there, and I would
Right.
be like, okay, this is what we got.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, baby, can I have a little of this for my fun money?
Right.
Sure. Okay, this is our vacation. This is our savings. This is what we're doing for the kids' college. Like, he knew that he could trust me with everything. I could have access to everything
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not just thinking about now.
Right.
I'm thinking about our future. I'm thinking about retiring him early,
Right.
right? I
Oh,
don't
I
want
love
him
that.
working forever. What?
Right.
I want him home with
Right.
me.
Right.
Right? I want him
Ooh,
home
I
with
love
me.
that. You're a full-blown partner.
Yeah.
And that's the same attitude I have. I'm also transitioning. I'm moving to another state this
Mm-hmm.
week.
Thank you. My
With
baby
like
said
not
that's a fact.
knowing, where this is and this is, and I'm having fun with like consciously playing with the energy
Good.
of, financial currency and the universe and God, and that kept, what you said, the divine with you and God is all me. So I'm not like talking to any guys. There isn't any of that right now. But I'm really glad to hear and know that for those of us like me, I would
Mm-hmm.
say I'm in your
Yep.
keftosphere captivity.
Yeah.
That we don't necessarily need to have a certain number of accomplishment in terms of, being ready. That really, really
No,
heals me.
you absolutely don't. And even more encouragement for you. When my husband came along, I was not looking. I was totally head down
Yes.
into myself.
Oh my God, I was going to ask you that question. So I
Yeah.
believe in that. I believe my coach,
Yeah.
actually, Victor Vincian, he said, put your head
Yeah.
down, be in what you love to do, be
Yes.
inspired. Like, I don't really believe in dating apps and like trying to find a guy. Like, what is your thoughts about that?
I've done a whole video, so
Okay.
I'll spare you all of that. It's called Online Dating Do's and Don'ts, and the first
Okay.
like don't is like dating apps.
Wow.
Um, Let me tell you why. You people have had success on them, and for
Right.
those people, great. I just think if you're going to pay for a dating app, you should pay for a coach first so that you get the
Mm,
most out of it, right? So
got
you
it.
know how to present yourself correctly.
Right.
So you know how to vet
Right.
properly for value,
Got it.
right? And so
Got
that's
it.
that's my thoughts on that. But I met my husband on good old Facebook. What you talking
Yes.
about? Good old Facebook.
Multiple people that
No.
I talked to that are married, they said they met them on Facebook. And Will's talking to Victor. What I was what I know to be true now is your social media page also is where your business be out there. So on dating apps, you don't know how they think about women, how they think about men, how they think about their family, if
Nope.
they family people. You don't
Nope.
know shit. Excuse my French,
No, you
right?
know, you have a very curated
Right. Right.
presence. Oh, I'll give you one of my cheat codes too. For
Okay.
all the ladies that are listening, right? Ditch the what's your favorite color, what you like to eat, what's your favorite restaurant, right? Ditch all of that. Ask a man how he brushes his teeth.
Ooh.
Ask him how he brushes his teeth. For one, he's gonna be like,
Huh?
no one's ever asked him,
Right.
right?
Right.
For two, he's gonna have to actually think about it. For three, he's not gonna lie
Mm,
because it's not
mm.
a prepared thing.
Right. Right.
You're asking him
Right.
on the spot about an everyday thing that he does.
Right.
He's not gonna be thinking that you can get so much
Got it.
out of a simple task.
Got
But
you.
literally, how a person does one thing and the small, simple, everyday task is really how they do everything. You just have to learn how to decipher the things.
Mm,
That's what I teach.
mm.
I teach you how to decipher the things.
Girl. Wow. Now I'm thinking of my own life because
Now you think about how you brush your teeth, aren't you?
how do I wash dishes? Do I do?
Yup.
Wow, that's
Yep.
good. Thank you so very much.
And for
Oh
my
my
parents,
goodness.
think
What?
about what irritates you with your kids. Whatever you
Mm,
complain about in them, right?
mm,
I'll listen, I'll volunteer as tribute. I never mind putting my own self out there. My kids, oh, I will get so irritated when they don't keep their room tidy.
mm, mm,
And one day I was like in mid, like get them together. And I walked back in my room and our bed wasn't made. And I was
mm.
like, look at you. The nerve
Right.
of you want to
Right.
be all on
Yes,
them and
yes,
you did not make the bed. And my
yeah.
husband is a retired naval officer,
Oh,
so you know that bed is
wait,
made.
hold on,
Okay?
hold on. Wait.
Yeah,
He's been in
yeah.
he's been in the military?
Yes, he was in the
Wait,
Navy.
for anybody watching my future husband, I want a military
Listen, I love him. I
man.
love him. I love
They
him.
are the best kinds of men, and I
I
know that
love
because
him.
my manosphere now is what military with military married men. So I'm
You
just
know why?
listening
Because
to
they're
them.
disciplined.
They're
They're
disciplined.
very disciplined. They're very principled. They're
Yep.
very loyal.
Yes. Yes.
They get a bad rap often because people will say like that they're very
No.
controlling.
But
And I have learned in captivity that a lot of things you see as control are really concern, care, and
protection.
like discipline
Yeah.
often that
Yeah.
you either didn't have or weren't required to have because you were your own boss.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, that part.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is
Yeah.
speaking to a real kept wife, y'all. Okay, we
Yeah.
got some viewers. I'm so excited. Wait, let me see. Do we need to let's look at these comments for a second.
Eugene asking about his questions. We answered two of them. I think we're still gonna get to
We
a
got
couple
two
more.
more. All right. So, if the husband is able to cover all the bills, what would you
Hmm.
suggest the wife do with her money? Example: save, invest, etc.
Yeah. Well, I think this goes back to the first comment I made about a wife's first kind of duty is to be knowledgeable and be disciplined first.
Got it.
Right? So she should make it a priority for her to learn about things, whether it's her
Okay.
husband teaching her, whether it's her reading her own books or going to YouTube
Right.
University or whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
To learn about the energy of money, abundance, wealth, all of that. She should want to do that first. Then, second, I think it's up to that couple, right? What is their level of abundance?
Got it.
For some people, like the wife being kept is just that she doesn't have to work and she can stay home and she can either support the husband if they don't have kids or just focus more on the kids if they have them.
Yeah.
And maybe she doesn't have a means of earning additional money, and that's how they are set up,
Got it.
right? So
Yes.
that could be that.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of, a lot of the ladies that I attract, they make their own 6, 7, 8
Okay.
figures, right? So
Yeah.
they're coming with this already. I believe that a woman should always be managing, multiplying. So
Okay.
yes, she should be saving. She should be looking at ways to multiply
Mm-hmm.
the man's money. Like with my husband, soon as he took over all the bills, I learned more about his position at work,
Mm-hmm.
listened to him, listened to what he was doing. And I heard him say that he had a specific set of skills
Mm-hmm.
that were in demand and that only he and like one other person could do. So
Okay.
I'm like, oh, you need more money for that. And I
Yeah.
just poured into him.
Yeah.
Wow, you're amazing, baby. You hear these ideas every day?
Yeah.
Wow, what did they say about that idea? And I just started building him up to the point that he doubled what he was making at work. You think he cares about me going to work when
I
I
love
double
this.
what he makes with my thoughts and inspiration?
Wow. What?
You know what I
Woo!
mean?
Come on now.
That's what
Wow.
women should be doing. Stop
Like,
worrying
wow.
about going to get a job. Like, I made a post and it went kind of viral, and I'm like, why when all you women want money, all you think about is getting a job? Why y'all don't think about getting a good husband? Oh,
Can we talk about
they didn't
that?
like me for weeks.
No, literally, I had a post that I did that. It's like, go find you a provider, not you know what I mean? This
Not
and
a
that.
second job.
Because it's all about covering. Like as a woman too, you're way more susceptible to manipulation, to things out there to that try to penetrate you both physically and mentally and emotionally.
Listen,
You
it's true. It's true. If you all heard Dame Dash on The
mm,
Breakfast Club, where he was like, I don't want no man telling my woman what to do. I had a real life moment like that when we were
mm, mhm,
engaged. He asked me where I wanted to go, like what was my dream destination. And I fully thought this wasn't going to happen. So I'm like, the Maldives. He's like, okay, let's go. Boom.
wow.
He asked me, like, how long you want to go for? And I'm like, oh, well, I can only go for this amount of time. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all my job would allow. So we
Mm.
went on the trip for what my job would allow because I was working at the time and we were engaged. After that, he said, oh no, it's time for you to quit. I'm not going to have anybody dictating how long I can vacation
Oh
with my woman.
wow.
Oh, you
Wow.
had me at hello.
Right.
Had
Wait,
me
that was
at
actually
hello.
the next question. When should a woman expect a man to take on full financial responsibility? Is it during dating, engagement, or after marriage? How did you just? How did?
So I think a woman should only entertain a man who wants to provide and sees his woman as an extension of
Okay.
himself. I don't think she should have an expectation of when, but I teach my women not to give of themselves until a man has claimed them and would
Right.
see reason to take care of them.
Right. Got you.
You know what
Let
I'm
me
saying?
ask you this, because I know that your beliefs are of Christian faith. Yes.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Do you also encourage women to wait until they have like a ring on their finger in terms of marriage for sex, or do you encourage them? What is the level of commitment? Is the question when they can give
So,
themselves?
I don't believe in boyfriend girlfriend. Like, what is that? We're grown ups. Are you kidding me? What is that? There was no boyfriend
Mhm.
girlfriend in the Bible
Mhm.
anywhere. They
Mhm.
like met,
Same. I don't.
they like decided they was going to marry,
Right.
they got married, they consummated. Like that's what they
Got it.
did. So to me, and this is for men too, like this isn't just a woman thing,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
For a man, you are shouldering financial responsibility even in dating, right? You're usually the
Mm.
one paying for
Right.
dates. You're
Right.
usually the one making sure that things are financially okay,
Right.
even if you're not paying a woman's bills. As the man, like, you're usually the person she's going to go to. Like,
Right.
there's a financial, I'll say burden. I don't like that word, but
Obligation or yeah.
nah,
Yeah.
I don't want to say
Not
obligation either.
obligation either because it's not an obligation, but I get what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Responsibility, I guess.
Yes. Okay,
Okay.
I'll take that. Responsibility, because you can choose that
Yes.
or not,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
still your choice, right? I want to be clear. Men aren't obligated. They're
Right.
not obligated. But I believe that provider men who are keepers, they just see that as a responsibility of
Yeah.
theirs.
Yeah.
No one is demanding it of them. No one is telling them they need to. It's something innate in them. And that's what
Right.
I encourage women to go for. Instead of going with a man that you just think looks good or has a job that you think makes money
Right.
or all of these things, you should be more considered with this man, how he governs himself and how he sees his role as a man in your
Mm.
life. Choose the men that want to be that.
Yeah.
Then it's easier. Guess what? Because he likes doing it and you like
Okay.
receiving it.
Okay.
It's so much easier that way.
Right.
And
Right.
I'm sorry, I don't listen. I'm passionate about this, so I can get off on a
That's okay.
tangent about particular things.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't think women should expect. Um, I don't think they should have an expectation like, oh, it should happen here. But I think that women should be governing themselves in a way that they're only giving themselves to a man who has chosen that. And I do believe that sex should be within marriage. And I've been very vocal about the fact, listen, I've done it wrong the
Right.
first time. The first time I had children and we married. Now, yes, we did already talk about marriage and say we were going to marry before we had the kids. We
Yeah.
did,
Yeah.
but we still did not make the move and do it. So my kids were still born out of wedlock,
Okay.
and then we
Same
married,
with me.
right?
She was born. Well, I was pregnant, and then I got married, and then I gave birth. But still, we had sex
But it's
prior to the
still
marriage. Right.
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 So
Right.
yeah, the intention is there.
Yeah.
Good morning, baby. Hi, honey. Yes, I told him it was okay, and you can wash your pad too after you brush your teeth. Okay. Oh, you did already. Okay, if you want to watch it, you can. You can. Yes. Okay.
I was looking at the comments. Oh, she's so cute. And she does
Yes.
gymnastics too, like my little one. I love
Yes,
that.
she does. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you. So, I did it, not the right way the first time. And when me and my husband got together, we are both believers.
Yeah.
And we both had the conversation of like, we wanted God to honor our marriage. We wanted God to be a foundational piece,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we made the decision. And it's not easy after you've already partaken and you
Okay,
already
because the
know
appetite
the,
is there, right?
yeah, and then come on, the appetite is more. You get with a man that's doing everything
Right.
you
You
ever could have
just want to be
wanted.
like,
What are
hey,
you talking about? He was the most deserving of me.
right, 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 right,
Um,
right.
but we took the time to consecrate ourselves
Yeah.
and really pray and ask God to remove any sexual thought or experience we had with anyone else so that we could create holy matrimony with each other and create a fulfilling sex life
Yeah.
with no comparison, with none of
Yeah.
that, no baggage, none of that. And it is
Wow.
beautiful. It
Yeah.
is beautiful
Yeah.
to do. So I do encourage my ladies, but I don't judge if that is not their
Right,
choice.
right, right.
All of the ladies that work with me, they are believers. They believe in God. We read scriptures together. We
Yeah.
pray every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that. But if they have not chosen that path, I still support
Right.
them. But I will say it takes longer.
Tell me
The
what you
process
mean.
takes longer when sex is involved.
Really?
Yeah, and a lot of
Tell me.
men talk. A lot of men have talked about this. Like a lot of spiritual men,
Yeah.
you'll see they're beginning to talk more about this, and they even tell women like, you take away the urgency. You take away the
Oh,
urgency from
getting married. Oh,
yes.
wow. That's so
Why?
true.
You want to get married
Wow.
quick though?
You are. I'm so thankful today. I'm just okay. So much wisdom. You dropping gems. These are just wow. Because I'm really thinking about it. And then you know what? It is an appeal to me now at this stage to really heed what you're
Mhm.
saying. Because the discipline part, when I
Yes.
totally take out the lust, I see so much clearer. And we're more quicker to want to have long term because there's so
Who's
much more incentive, there's
latched
less
on?
distractions,
Mhm.
yes. And then also another thing is
You can see men more
yeah.
clearly,
Mm,
and you can govern yourself
right.
differently as well. Like when you're not
Mm,
clouded by lust and by your physical needs being met,
right.
you have to develop intimacy in a more
Mm.
valuable way,
I kind of
right?
I actually don't I want to do this. I want to sit with God and really commit, but oh my god, it's going to make me cry.
I'm telling you how honorable it is. Like there is a certain
Wow.
blessing in it. And I know I hear a lot of women like
Excuse me.
they're fearful. Oh, I'm sorry. They're they're fearful for many different reasons,
Wow.
right? Like, well, in a world where we're over
Right.
sexualized, right? Where it's so like, oh, first date and all of the things, right?
Right.
Or you have the other side of it. Well, I can't commit to, I got to try it out.
Something you don't
I
know,
got to
right?
test it first.
Yeah, that was
There's
another question.
there's so many different ways for you to understand sexual compatibility
Mm.
without actually having sex though. If
Oh,
you took
wow.
your time to build intimacy, you could see the different preferences. You could, because the actual act,
Wow.
right? Let's just be a little more explicit here. The actual act, you can coach that.
You
You absolutely
could.
can.
You
You
actually can.
absolutely can,
Yeah.
right? And we all know the longer you're with a person,
Right.
the more you know their
Right.
body, the more you know what they like, the
Right.
more confident you get with your body, the different
Right.
things, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So imagine if intimacy is that way. Like at first, you're just talking.
Right.
You're talking so you know this person's mind, right? If you have intimate conversations, you all can talk about the things you
Right.
like first.
Right.
And then you
Right.
can imagine them. You can
Yes.
visualize. And then guess what? It gets vivid. You start their anticipation. Like
Yeah.
my husband and I, we will do sometimes, like if
Yeah.
he's been away for like a few days or whatever, sometimes because sometimes we can't help it,
Okay.
but sometimes we will say, no, we're going to intentionally build anticipation. So we're not going to do it the first day I come home.
Wow.
We're just going to talk,
Yeah.
kiss,
Yeah.
like, and heat the oven. Heat the oven. Then the
Wow.
next day we are
Crazy, right?
crazy, right? It is
Yes.
crazy.
Yes.
So that's what it's like if you don't do it. If you don't do it, you spend all of this time
Yeah.
learning each other, building up
Yeah.
anticipation, like figuring it out, all of that. And then when you finally do it, it's like, oh my God. Trust me.
Wow. This is
Trust,
such a
just
refreshing conversation.
listen,
Wow. You know
listen.
what? Because I feel like the two issues in our community is poor emotional and poor sexual discipline.
Yeah.
And what you're bringing back for us is having both. I mean, because you
Yeah.
have to have both to have that kind of relationship dynamic. And
Yeah.
I have a question for those that have like this thought in their head, but like, I know you can coach in terms of how to be pleased. You have to coach anyway, even if like,
Mhm.
you haven't been married to the person you're having sex. You have to coach somebody how your body, how you
Anyway,
like it. Anyway, it's gonna, you know what
absolutely.
I mean? Like, hello. But what if his like penis size? I'm just gonna go there.
I
Like,
mean,
you know what I
you don't
mean?
gotta ride it to know the size though. That's what I'm saying. Like these are all
Okay. Okay.
excuses that
Okay.
we give ourselves because we want to be fast tail.
Okay. Got
You
it.
can, and listen, I wouldn't even suggest doing this until you're at the point that you're like, we might get married. I wouldn't even, like, you don't need to touch that man's parts
Got it.
if he not your husband.
Got it.
You don't even need to be
Got it.
wondering. You don't even need to, none of that. But I would say if you're at the point where you all have dated, you've had the conversations, and it's like, yes, you're a wife, you're a
Yeah.
husband. Now we're trying to see if you could be my
Got
wife
it.
and you could be my
Got
husband. That's the
you.
next level. If you're there, you could while he has his clothes on, dance very tightly, and there's
Okay.
ways.
There's ways to
There's
not have the act to
absolutely
just okay.
ways. And you also, the way you kiss will be more passionate at that point too. The
Yeah.
way a person kisses is also going to tell you how passionate they are.
Right.
It's going to tell you how well they interweave with you. Are they just thinking about how they do it and willy nilly
Mm.
and all of that?
You
This,
know the sigh, because the sigh is like, oh man, I'm gonna be honest. I could probably count on 3 fingers I've ever been a little bit pleased, and I've had a lot of sex.
and see, that's the point. Like I be
You
trying not to like go there with
know?
women, but I'm like, y'all acting like y'all out here just being super pleased all the time. Y'all
We're
is
not.
not. So what is this, like, you're not losing anything by not
Right.
giving another man opportunity to try you out.
Right. Damn.
No.
You know what? That goes into renting versus owning. Mm. We be
Come
renting
on
each
now.
other fucking out. Like, wow.
Well, I said
Mm.
people are in these relationships and boyfriend and girlfriend. No, you're having trial marriages. That's what you're doing.
Damn.
That's what you're doing. You're
That's so
having
good.
trial marriages without the
Yes.
real commitment,
Yeah.
without you actually losing something if you decide to leave. That's what you're doing.
Ooh, that's good.
Oh, greetings from
Oh,
Ghana. Come on now.
ooh, what's
Hello.
up? Oh my
Hi.
God, this is a great conversation. All right, all right. So it's 10 o'clock. I don't want to take too much of your time. I would love if you can share. So I want to pivot into how do you take your clients from single to being a kept wife? Like the
Yep.
overarching, process of how that looks like in your premium coaching service. And then the second part is what are the major hurdles that your clients like equally share in that
Okay.
process?
Okay, so the first thing is I have a signature framework that is called self. So we focus
Mm,
on self. And self is an acronym,
right.
right? S stands for self love.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we do the healing, right? Where
Mm,
we really get down to why aren't you loving yourself?
okay.
You have to love yourself first in order to attract someone to love you the way you want to be loved, right?
Yeah.
So we do the healing
Mm-hmm.
there and figure
Mm-hmm.
out that. Then the next thing is empowerment through accountability. So I literally teach women how to reshape their perspective on accountability.
Right.
Right? I know we get a bad rap as women about, oh, we don't want to be accountable, blah blah blah. So I teach women to see accountability as the way that they can empower themselves. I teach
Mm.
them that you taking accountability does not absolve someone else of their responsibility for their part. And I think that's where a lot of women are
Wow.
resistant to
Yes.
accountability. They think by
Wow.
being accountable to it, it then says that what the person did to them was okay. And I
Right.
let them know accountability is separate of their responsibility. It is your way to be
Mm.
empowered by looking at yourself, seeing what you allowed, what you chose,
Right.
what you decided,
Right. Right.
right? It empowers
Wow.
you to see that you did certain things. Look, my phone agrees. I love when my
I
phone
know,
agrees with
right?
me. Right? And then the L in self is the laws of God slash universe. And the reason why I say this is even if you don't believe in the Bible or Christian principles and you believe in the laws of the universe,
Right.
we can still work together because they're the same. They actually are the same.
Yeah.
But so whatever you
Yes.
need to hear in order to get the
Right.
message, it's either of those. So I intertwine that and teach a lot about like the laws of attraction
Got it.
mainly. That's like the main one, but other laws of the universe. And I use the Bible as a reference a lot
Yeah.
of times. And then the final F.
Ooh.
Final, but it's not last.
Yes.
It is interwoven in
Yes.
everything, femininity.
Wow, I didn't
That
know
is
you were going to
interwoven
say
in
that.
every single thing that
Wow.
I teach
Yes,
because it is our superpower.
it is.
You are not going to get the furthest you can get in life by competing at being a man. You're not.
Drop the
You
mic.
were born a woman. You're not a man.
Right.
You have unique gifts,
Yes.
talents, strengths,
Yes.
abilities
Yes.
as a woman.
Yes.
And when you learn to hone those things, life is easier.
Wow.
It's more abundant.
Mm,
You attract things to you. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful experience. You get
yeah.
rid of all of that stress, that hard, like all of that is gone.
Yeah.
So that's my signature
Wow.
framework, self,
Wow.
and that is what I'm teaching. And
Wow.
when they master all of that, they're then kept by
Yes.
themselves.
Yes.
And then we work on the men. The men,
Yeah.
that part's like 20%.
Okay.
20 to 30%. It's really more
Wow.
self-work. The
Yes.
men part is 20 to 30% because when you
I love
master
that.
self, you can hear what I say about men and not be offended. You can
Mm,
understand that they are different, have different needs. You can understand that you have to speak to them differently.
right.
You
Right.
can understand that
Wow. That's,
instead of trying to split a bill with the man, you develop feminine currency, and that's the only way you pay for things.
ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah,
It's giving me all of the things. All of the things.
yeah.
So then would you say then the major hurdle would be the accountability piece because they don't know how to separate
Mm, actually, no, not the women that I actually end up working
okay.
with, and it might be because you attract what
Yes.
you are. So I'm super accountable.
Yes.
So when women come to me, they don't have that roadblock as much.
Yeah.
I just help them take it to another
Got it.
level where like, oh, accountability. They're like, oh yeah, like they
Yeah.
rush to it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Their fingers already in
Um,
it. Yeah. Yeah.
I would say, in general, more of my clients are divorced women.
Okay.
And I already told you 70% of my clients have been burned by other coaches. So
Mm,
I see a lot of trust issues, a lot of, I
okay.
don't want to do it again. I've already tried this. I've
Mm,
already done this.
okay.
So a lot of hurt, a lot of disappointment
Okay.
there. So there's a lot of rebuilding of trust. And when I say rebuilding of trust, it's not in me. I help these women trust themselves again, because that's
Mm,
really what it is. When someone lets you down, when someone doesn't perform like you thought they would or like they
right.
said they
Right.
would, you obviously are disappointed in them, but you lose faith and trust in yourself, in your ability to make
Right.
decisions. You're
That
like, I
part.
made a bad decision, right? So I help women to see that you just like you made that decision, you can make another one. You can make
Yes.
another one, boo. You
Yes.
do not have to die by that decision, whether it's that man, whether it's
Right.
that job,
Right.
whether it's that coach. You, if you woke
Mm,
up today, God gave you a fresh slate.
right.
You can make all new decisions today if you want
Literally.
to. You just have to live with them decisions,
Right.
right? And
Right.
them consequences
Right.
and what comes with
Right.
them.
Right.
But
Right.
you can. So I think that's
Wow.
probably the biggest
Got you.
roadblock, is like getting them to see that they can trust
Right.
themselves again. They
Right.
that feminine intuition
Mm-hmm.
that we didn't listen to. And when I show them, you already knew that wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
already
That
knew
part.
that man wasn't for you. You already knew before it got to
Yeah.
that. You knew, but you ignored.
Got it. Got it.
Right.
And now I also will say too, when you make a decision, it's coupled with newfound wisdom, whereas before you didn't have it. So it's a new
Exactly.
decision altogether.
Exactly. Like, so
Yeah.
forgive yourself,
Yeah.
right? You grew from it and now you know more.
Yeah.
You'll do differently.
Wow.
That's
I
good.
love
Thank you.
that.
Yes.
Woo! This was an amazing conversation. Oh
Yeah.
my God, we had so much feedback and interaction and engagement. Thank you for everybody that came,
Yes.
that put their comments in. I know we didn't get to a lot of them, but I see your hubby is helping out. I see my coach
Well,
Victor.
I have a few more minutes if you want to get
Oh,
to, if you want to look through and
oh,
see if there's any
yes. Okay, let's look through
questions or
these.
anything like that.
All right. All right, cool. So, I mean, there's so many. Let me see what stands out. Do. Tell me if you see any that stands
And
out.
thank you. I can't really,
Ah,
I'm
okay.
on my phone, so it's like a little whatever. But while you're doing that, I would just say, gentlemen, love that you were here. Love that you were here
Ah,
in support of this
yes.
conversation, because we need you. I'm not a coach that hates men. I don't
Yeah.
have any messages about how bad they are or anything like that. I am a supporter of men having prepared women.
Yeah.
Okay. I am a supporter of men having wives that honor them, that respect them, and
Yeah.
that are a good representation of them. That's what I teach women to do. Yes, I talk about having a provider and having a man do these things for you, but at the foundation of it, I let these women know they need to be a woman that warrants that. You know,
Mm,
I didn't take my old self, who was overweight, undisciplined, um, all of the things that are not positive. I
yeah.
was those things. I
Yeah.
didn't take that self and demand the greatest treatment. You can see it because in my life I wasn't getting it. Right? I
Yes.
went and I up leveled
Hmm.
myself. I improved myself
Yeah.
to the point that I would only attract a man who was disciplined. I would
Mm,
only attract a man who wanted to provide for his woman. I would only attract a man who desired to be a husband and a father.
right.
I only wanted to attract that. I wanted certain things for my life. So I became the woman that
Mm,
deserved it, that
got
warranted it.
it.
Yeah.
I love that because I think a lot of women desire a certain thing, but they not really like the standard for what they
Yeah.
desire, either.
Yeah.
So you
Come
did
on,
ask,
Victor. He
yes.
said, Disciplined women are the treasure, not the prize. You know what's so funny? I have a YouTube show that I do on Wednesdays called Sounds About Wife,
Mm.
and I share my treasure.
Wow.
That's literally what I say on there. So look, ladies, and these are the things I point out to women too. And Victor's married, right?
Yes, yes,
Of
yes.
course he is.
Yes, he
Of
is.
course he is. Of course he is. So you'll see the things that the quality men say. I teach my women, you
Mm.
don't give energy to commoners.
No.
You don't give energy to them. You can see the men that are of quality, the keeper men. They
Right.
speak differently. They're not offended by a woman saying that her husband needs to be a provider.
Yeah.
They're like, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Right?
like standard baseline. Eugene had
Yeah.
asked a question.
Okay.
Um, wait, let me scroll to it. He said, how does a woman avoid a man with erectile dysfunction? And then Victor kind of answered that and said, I believe that ED is tied to poor diet and exercise. A lot of men have the same health issues as the woman they complain about due to their poor fitness.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not telling women to try things out before marriage. So, if that was the case, what I would be saying though, like, put it like this: my husband, we have an age gap in our
Mm-hmm.
marriage. And one of the things that I said to my husband, before I was even well, he tells me I was his wife as soon as he asked me to marry him. That's his
Yeah.
stance. As soon as he asked me to marry him, I said yes, I was his wife. He acted like I was his wife from that point on.
Got it.
I told him I want as many years with you as possible. We got to get healthier. Yes, we're in pretty
Mm.
good health,
Yeah.
but we need to eat better. We need to start walking, running together. We need to blah, blah, blah. Now, he was already in fairly good shape because he was in the
Got it.
military. So, you know what I mean? He had to maintain certain
Yeah.
fitness levels. But I'm like, nope, we still got excess,
Yeah.
bumps
This is
and
yeah.
curves and all of the things.
Yeah.
We could get some extra poundage off. And he was like,
Yeah.
wow, the fact that you led with you want as many years with me as possible. How could I not want to eat a salad? How could I not
Okay.
want to
Right.
drink my water now,
Yes.
knowing that you're saying this because you want time with me? And that's what a good woman should do.
Yeah.
And if you are pouring into him, he's going to be healthier. You're
True.
going to see improvements.
Yeah.
There's been so many health improvements that I've seen in my husband just by me saying, oh, we drinking shakes this week. Oh, we're
Yes.
doing this. Oh, we're
Yes.
this.
Yes.
So I think
Wow.
if it is an issue, they can work through it together.
I love
And
that. Thank
if
you.
one part don't work, he got a mouse. He
Yeah.
got like, listen, listen,
You too much. You
come
are
on.
so. I love
I
it.
mean,
I love
I
it. I
mean,
love it.
listen,
Period. And I think too, when you lead with
yeah,
character and not with characteristics, it
mm-hmm,
is a completely different intimacy anyway, and experience you get through
yes,
pleasure and through other things that are outcomes and effects of it.
yep,
You are so
yep,
right.
yep.
Wow, wow. So I mean, I think I've seen enough comments. If once the live ends, we see something else,
Yeah,
we can go back. We
we
can
could still
respond
respond. We'll
for
definitely
sure.
respond to it.
Yes,
And I want to make sure that anybody that is on here, right? We are closing out 2024.
yes,
So I want to personally invite you all to my third annual release ceremony. This is the first year that I'm opening it up to the public. In previous years, it has been something that I've done with my clients, and it literally helps them to recognize the year, right? So recognize all things that went well
yes.
and your growth and all of that, but also release the things that no longer serve you, that you've
Mm,
outgrown, that have limited you, that you do not want to carry into your next year. And that can be unmet goals, unmet anything,
yeah,
right? We'll let go of those. I actually walk you through a guided meditation and activity that has lifetime value because you can do this
yeah.
whenever you need to release
Mm-hmm.
something. And it works. Trust me, my clients do it all the time. And then we kind of end it if you upgrade and go to
Yes,
VIP. I do a Q&A like
yes.
this where I give, individual guidance
Mm-hmm.
and advice based on your situation and what you want to manifest and attract in 2025. And I'm raffling off a session with me, which
Woo!
is valued right now at about $300. So you get a chance to win a session with me and some other prizes. So I'll leave the
Yes.
link.
Please.
below for you
Yes.
all to register. It's this Friday
Mm-hmm.
at 7 p.m.
Yes.
$24 to just come to the release. $50 if you want to do the
Yes.
Q&A and VIP with me.
Woo! I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And that's actually what I was going to ask you next is what would you like the audience to know
Oh,
in terms of,
thank you. Is
yes,
that Taraji? She said we have great chemistry,
yes.
like a podcast chemistry together.
Ah!
Okay. We'll
Also, by the
see.
way, if anybody else wants to come on my show and to talk about their vision, talk about what they have, their business, definitely DM me. My DM is always open. With that, where
Oh, I have
can,
a couple of clients that I will send your
oh,
way.
yay!
I have one client that's a health coach.
Okay,
She has
great.
a great
Yes.
story. And she does
Mm-hmm.
consultations to like literally assess what a person might need in regards to like minerals,
Yeah, yeah,
vitamins, different things like
yeah.
that. She's
Yes.
awesome. So I'll recommend
Okay.
her to you. And I also have a client that's an interior designer.
Your
Yes.
clients are things I'm interested in because
Listen,
also when I get on these lives, I'm coached too. So like it's a
I'm
win-win
telling
for
you,
all of
they're
us.
dynamic women. I'm thinking I have so many different
Yes.
clients that are in different industries
Mhm.
that have dynamic stories that you would have a great time talking with them. So
Okay.
I'll connect you. I'll
Awesome.
connect
Thank
you
you
with them.
so
Yeah.
much. Where can all of us find you on socials, your
Yes.
Instagram, TikToks? Like tell us all
So
the stuff.
I'm Destination Dionna everywhere.
Oh,
And the
great.
reason why it's destination is because I'm always becoming, right? The
Ooh.
destination is Dionna. I'm always becoming a better Dionna.
I love
And I like to travel. So that's a little play on words.
it.
But
Yes,
yes,
yes.
look, the Kepties are amazing. Yeah, and that's
Yes.
Dawn. And Dawn, ooh, I know you said you have a lot of like veterans and military people. Well, Dawn is starting a business where she actually helps those who are retired
Yeah.
military get all of their benefits. She listen,
Ooh.
listen. My ladies are dynamic.
Yes.
Listen. They have great businesses and they're going to be amazing wives.
Yes.
So,
I'm
all of
excited.
you military
I'm excited because
people,
I have military people connected to me, so yeah,
yeah,
we're gonna do great things.
absolutely. So Destination Dionna, if you go to Instagram, Destination
Okay. Yes.
Dionna, on Facebook,
Yes.
Destination Dionna, and my website is DestinationDionna,
Okay.
DIONNA
Mm-hmm.
.com.
Okay.
And you can go there. You can get my
Yes.
journal if you want to get started with that. I mean, literally takes 30 days to complete, but no one has completed it in 30 days because it gets that deep.
Really? They complete it
Yeah.
usually beforehand?
No, it takes them longer because
Oh.
they'll open it and the
Wow.
first one will knock them out. Like,
Damn.
yo, I was
Yeah.
not ready to talk about
Yeah.
that. I was not ready to confront that. I'm not ready to.
Really? I need to look
Yeah,
at
so
that.
it takes people months usually.
Really? I
Yeah.
think too, because the death of the ego is like real. Like you really
Yeah.
go through deaths when you
Yeah,
release as well.
you absolutely do. When you have to
Yeah.
start confronting self.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You've spent a lot of time thinking it was everyone else or everything that has happened to you.
Yeah.
But again, when you become accountable,
Yes.
you can say, yes, these things happened to me and I don't like it and I don't agree with it and it was not right. However, I put myself in this position.
Right.
However, I allowed this.
Hmm.
However, I thought this that attracted that.
Wow. Oh
Yeah.
my God. I'm gonna rewatch this for
I
myself.
know. I gotta watch it back too. We
You
talked about
know,
a
like
lot.
I really need to. Oh my God.
We
Well,
talked
this
about
is
a
an amazing
lot.
conversation. I
Yeah.
really, really am in honor of being in your presence, even if it's virtually.
Oh,
By the
thank
way, I'm
you.
coming to Texas. So we
Come on
have
now.
to be
I
in
told
person.
you
I'm
I'm in
moving there.
Dallas.
Yes. So
We can go to the
I'm gonna
spa.
actually
It's
be
my
in the
favorite
Killeen
thing.
area. But I know Dallas,
Okay.
I'll definitely make a trip. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Um, and with that, thank y'all for
Thank
showing up.
y'all
Thank
for
you, thank
showing
you,
up. We
thank you.
appreciate you all.
Yes. All right. Well,